I'm completely excited. I am here today. It's the highlight, one of the highlights of my trip, with Lori Dechene, who is Tiny Buddha. Those of you who know me know that my favorite website of all online is Tiny Buddha. I retweet it, I send it to everybody, and I got to meet Lori today. So, Lori, I don't think people realized you were like such a cute tiny Buddha. I think maybe they thought you were like a little round, bald Buddha. But here you are, this beautiful. Can you tell me, and tell everybody, how did you become Tiny Buddha?
Well, I used to do a lot of writing for the internet that wasn't really connected to anything that mattered to me. I wrote for a different series of websites, and I did community management, and I wanted to do something online that felt meaningful to me. I wanted to connect with people on a meaningful level. I wanted to feel like I was making a difference and helping people deal with a lot of things that I've dealt with, trying to be present in the moment and create happiness on a day-to-day basis instead of kind of feeling victimized by life, and just take responsibility for living the life that you want to live. So that was, I started with a Twitter account, a daily quote, mostly Buddhist, but not entirely. A lot of them just are about living out loud and being present and being peaceful. And from the Twitter account, after about a year, I leveraged that into a blog where now lots of different people send stories about applying wisdom to real life, just taking it off the page.
A couple questions.
Okay.
Are you a Buddhist?
I would not call myself a Buddhist because I don't really believe in labels. I mean, a lot of the way I live my life is aligned with Buddhist philosophies. I read a lot of Buddhist books, I meditate, I practice yoga, and I make a conscious effort to be mindful in my daily life. But I wouldn't say I'm a Buddhist. I don't go to a Zen center to meditate. I haven't spent a great deal of time around monks. I do what I consider, I guess, tiny Buddhism. I apply what makes sense for me, and yeah.
And so you don't meditate?
I do meditate.
Oh, you do meditate?
I do meditate,
okay,
but I do meditation in a way that feels manageable for me.
And what's that?
Well, I think that a lot of people think it's an all or nothing thing, that you need to meditate an hour a day, or you have to go somewhere with lots of other people. And I just meditate every morning for about 20 minutes. I have a little cushion in my living room. And some days I do more of a walking meditation or a moving meditation, like yoga. But most mornings I do meditate for about 20 minutes.
How many followers do you have now?
Tiny Buddha has about, on Twitter, 110,000 followers right now.
It's amazing. And you have your website, Tiny Buddha.
I do.
And you're about to come out with a book, Tiny Buddha.
Yes, I'm very excited that I am working on my first book, and it's actually incorporating wisdom from people who follow Tiny Buddha. So the book is going to deal with some of the most difficult questions in life. Not necessarily the questions that you might imagine, the big ones, like, is there a God, or what happens after we die? It's more about the questions that have to do with the way we live our lives, like what's the meaning of it all, and what does it take to be happy, and why are relationships hard, and things like that. And I have, I've collected tweets for the past 2 months from my readers and answered these questions, and I'm sort of weaving that all together with stories from my own life and wisdom guided by what they've shared.
So, since I have the Tiny Buddha here, can you give us a tiny Buddhism for today for all the followers of my blog?
Sure. Well, actually, today's daily quote, and I'm probably going to misquote it, but it was from Buddhist monk Dechene, and the quote was, "I let go of anxieties and worries so that I can be light and free."
That one I can really use.
Yes, we all can.
Lori, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for letting me be Tiny Buddha for a day. I'm so thrilled to meet you, and I love your site, and I think you're going to be turning into a big Buddha really soon.